Tonight we're looking at some two ice cream trucks horror stories animated. Hold on. I already know they're gonna be scared. Let me get my blink. Hold on. Okay.
This happened to me last time I babysat. It was for a single parent, 5 blocks down from me. And I'm Natalie. Don't ask why. Just
Why am I lagging?
beware. You could hear the jingle probably a mile away. Melody sprang up from the couch and started
She
to
looks
sing
like a
aloud.
doll. What the hell?
Do you like them green? Do you like them blue? Do you like them raspberry and chocolate too?
I hate
Flavor
you.
is what
You
you
look like
crave,
a boot.
and
I'm
you
about to boot
really
you
want
out of
to
this
savor.
boot. Bitch.
And don't get in a pickle and buy from Mr. Sickle. It was repetitively bursting every eardrum on the street as it belted out its loud, obnoxious noise from a clown nose atop a mishmash truck. And how peculiar it looked. It had a painted rainbow of different colors, ranging from brown to turquoise, to dry cherry and bland
I think
yellow.
it's blood, bro.
Whoever had done the job simply wanted to slap on something and be done with it. There were only the nose to be seen on the roof. The rest
What
of
the
the clown
hell?
apparatus
What
torn
kind
away,
of clown
somehow likely from a recent storm.
serial
And the
killer looking
windows in the front of the van were
bus is
completely
this?
darkened to keep anyone from peering inside. As it stopped on the block, the brakes made a lurching noise, like a cat was being put to death, and the entire thing shook back and forth. As soon as it stopped, so did the music.
That's probably how they make them freaking red colored ice cream.
The window where the salesman was supposed to be. By window, with a few words scrawled hastily in bright orange marker. Mr. Sickles makes any flavor, and he always picks your favorite. I couldn't tell what it was.
Wait, so that means I don't want to talk about it, bro.
It's in between the two exclamation marks, but it looked like an asterisk in fine print, like something you might see after a copyright. Below that was a list of prices. $1 for a cone, $3 for a triple sundae. Was the ice cream made of gold or something?
What?
Nah. Can we get some? Can we? Melody asked. Their parents hadn't said anything about no ice cream. I did have a little change in my pocket. I debated it for a second or two, and then I was either to hear her whine about not getting a frozen treat, or to let her eat some ice cream later. If you have ever babysat a hyper 5-year-old, you know what choice
I haven't.
Still searching for the perfect anime? Funimation's got you covered with tons of genres. Whether it's hot.
I stood there, only a few feet away from the window, waiting for whoever
don't
ran
go
the
in,
jalopy
bro.
to peer out.
Don't go in.
It seemed like it took a rather long time.
He'll run off. He'll rape you.
Then finally a voice barked from the window.
You want your flavor, girl?
It asked.
What?
I couldn't tell if it was a man or a woman, to be honest. I'll take strawberry for the kid, I said, taking $1 out of my pocket.
That's not how it works. We choose the flavor. You eat it.
The voice responded.
That
That's
sounds kind of
stupid,
sus.
I admitted. I also felt a little unsure about myself. Why was I arguing with the vendor? How did I even know what this thing sold was even edible at all? She likes strawberry, I told the voice.
You should.
I sneered.
Well,
Lay your money on the counter and turn away.
It responded. I shrugged with the instructions.
I mean, I'll
as I
bring
turned to
my
the kid who was
shotgun out,
impatiently
shoot that
waiting
person,
by,
bro.
hopping up and down. Melody, you need to settle down, I told her. I want chocolate too, she insisted. Your dad will kill me. Sorry, I said. I waited another minute, wondering when the ice cream man would tell me to turn around.
Hold on.
Then the voice said,
Enjoy your treat.
I sighed and looked at...
I just noticed something. Why her eyes popping out of her head like a freaking fish, bro? Me and her had a similar nose, bro. See?
the lopsided sundae that was now sitting in place of my loose change, and offered it to the kid. Let's go sit on the porch and eat it so we don't make a mess, I suggested. She complied, happy at last. As we sat down, I noticed that the truck was... gave me a weird vibe. Melody got very quiet, and her eyes got very big as she took the first bite. And then...
Dang, I can't even make my eyes that big. What the hell?
What the hell? I asked, looking down at her cone.
Me.
In the middle of it, there looked like some kind of raw meat. Maybe even flesh. And maggots writhing about trying to break free.
He put his own
She
meat
dropped
in there.
the cone instantly and ran screaming inside. With a huff, I stood up and marched down to the van, slamming on the side of it.
Bitch.
That was a mean trick you just played. What is wrong with you?
Sick bastard.
Costume role? Well, I think beauty matters the most. But, you know, she can be a silly girl. Wow. Shit.
Why are you messing with little kids? I demanded.
We only give what they deserve. That's our specialty.
The voice answered. Yeah? Well, I deserve to get my dollar back since you swindled us.
Freaking knuckle
I demanded.
sandwich in her face.
Sorry. No refunds.
And that's free.
Listen, you give me my dollar back, or I'm calling the cops and reporting you for being a peeping Tom, I said. There was a pause, and I huffed in triumph. A moment later, the voice said,
Maybe you should ask Melody if she wants a refund.
I opened my mouth to make another smart remark. I felt a tug at my pant leg. Then I turned to see Melody standing there,
Yo, get the
covered
fuck off, bro.
in ice cream. To my surprise, she had returns and ate the entire thing. Maggots and all. I want another one. I want another one, Nat. I got down on one knee and wiped...
What? Is she a voodoo doll, bro? She a voodoo doll.
her mouth.
I might have nightmares.
Confused by her behavior. Honey, that ice cream was nasty. I chided her. No, it wasn't. I liked it, and I want more. I need more. Melody shrieked.
I need it.
I heard a giggle from the ice cream truck and turned to confront the vendor. So that's your scam? You make little kids get addicted to your nasty shit? I muttered.
Maybe you should try a flavor for yourself. Find out.
I mean, it might be magic.
Maybe I should make you taste a knuckle sandwich.
Hey,
I said, clenching my fists together. Natalie, I really need another ice cream. Melody squealed. I told you no. I demanded as I slammed my fist on the van again. I've had enough of this. Show yourself. The window slid open. I was speechless. It had been days now, and I don't really know if I can describe Mr. Sickles properly. He had a face like you might find on a Jack-in-the-Box.
Bruh. Is it Persian night or something, bro? Like, be serious, bro. Don't do this, bro. Don't go to prison for the rest of your life, bro. Body built like Slenderman, like freaking ape-shaped sister looking.
except his eyes were hollow and his mouth was split down the middle. He wore the traditional vendor uniform and hat, but perhaps most striking of all were his hands. They were literally shaped
Bro, them hands look like freaking dildos, bro. What the hell?
to be blades like sickles, but made of flesh and bone. I found my knees wobbling as the strange humanoid extended its accordion-like neck toward me, its expressionless face never wavering as it started up the jingle again. And this time, stretched its neck to place its head on the top of the ice cream truck. Then, it detached from the folding neck, turning 360 degrees, and encouraging other children to come out and try a frozen treat.
Come, get your frozen ice cream from Mr. Sickle. Sundae, lollipop, strawberry,
Like punch
and
your ass out of existence.
Slowly, it sank its neck back into its dark hole. A headless ghost now that was chuckling madly as I felt Melody tug at my pants urgently. I hate to admit it, but in those few nightmarish moments, I had forgotten about her entirely. I turned to her, and this time, I was the one screaming. Her little body was starting to melt the same way any frozen treat might in the midday sun. Her facial...
Bro, she look like a melting ice cream. I just gotta cut down.
expression was a mixture of anguish and pain as she begged for one more lick of ice cream. And her lips slipped from her face into the street below. A moment later, she was just a puddle of goo, misshapen and unrecognizable. And Mr. Sickles was back on his route again. That unforgettable jingle enticing others to come be a part of his madness.
You like the green, you like the blue, you like the raspberry and chocolate too.
I don't like
Flavor
you,
is what you craver.
you madness
You really
little
want
bitch.
to savor. So don't get in the pickle. Invite from Mr. Sickle.
Huh. That was creepy, bro.
In heaven, this little girl came up to me. She told me she died in your tummy.
Ice cream,
Last
you
summer
cream.
was a bit crazier than usual, wasn't it? COVID
What?
ruined a lot of plans.
Ice cream, you cream. What kind of... I don't know, I ain't
Plans for me and my friends. We were going to take a trip, go to Six Flags, go camping, go
gonna...
down, took it all away. It almost felt like summer was going to be a bummer. You know what I'm saying? I truthfully thought most of those days were going to be spent stuck inside a house, like a prisoner. I was searching for any excuse to get out, and boy, did I find it. When I heard the most peculiar little jingle, I knew immediately what it was. Even though I hadn't heard a similar tune in ages. An ice cream truck. Call me a child if you want, but I dropped my game controller immediately and ran to go buy
Yay! An ice cream truck. Bitch.
some ice cream treats. The truck looked old. If it was my grandfather talking, he would say it resembled a jalopy, in need of all kinds of repairs, especially the audio system. It was just obnoxious noise now that I was close enough to hear anything. The tires looked half inflated, one headlight was busted, and
Kinda
most of the
pimp-
artwork was fading.
Pimp shit is that?
Almost the appeal of eating something so frosty from such a filthy stall made me second guess myself. But I reconsidered when I saw a flock of other kids starting to chase the junky vehicle to the next side corner. The truck came to a screeching halt, and then the back windows
Bro,
where
it
the
needs
vendor
a-
would peek his head out opened up.
It's like Jeff Bezos and Joe Biden had a kid, bro. What the hell? Or is that Jeff Bezos' dad? And that truck is so dirty. It's like someone crapped over it.
The man inside looked friendly enough. He wore the traditional striped uniform that looked a bit faded and torn, but he also had a smile on his face, and that seemed to be enough to sell his treats. Already, a dozen kids were flocking around, trying to make requests. As I heard it settle down. "You'll all get a chance to buy. Just form a line, please," he insisted. I couldn't help but admire his business gusto. Here we were, the middle of a freaking pandemic, and this
Dude
60-year-old
looking
grandpa
sad,
was
bro.
selling
What the
ice
hell?
cream. It was admirable, but also a bit nutty.
Dude knows someone about to go down, bro. Like, look at him, bro. I just can't.
And I think if it wasn't for his warm nature, this gimmick wouldn't have worked. As the children happily got out their change, I decided to get to the back of the line, feeling a bit strange that I was the only adult in sight to ask for a treat. Was I being awkward coming out here for ice cream? I didn't want neighbors to get the wrong idea. But besides the street corner where the vendor was
Bruh.
parked,
Why is he looking at him like that? Why are they smiling at each other? They must know each other, bro.
the area seemed deserted. I was being paranoid for no reason anyway. It was just ice cream. Gradually, the line got shorter, and it was my turn to get whatever I wanted. But then, I noticed the vendor was getting ready to close up shop. "Hey, hold on! I have money!" I shouted as I pulled out a $5 bill. He gave me a look and then shrugged and said,
Boy,
"Sorry,
if you don't get your
it's
broke
closing
ass
time
out,
anyway. Besides which, I don't have any product left." I looked over his shoulder to see a whole other freezer full of treats and huffed in frustration. "I just waited 20 minutes in the blistering heat. Just give me a popsicle for all I care," I lamented. "No can do, Sonny. Sorry," he said with a smile as he closed his stall. I couldn't believe my bad luck as I looked at all the happy kids eating their ice cream around me. Then he cranked up his truck again and drove away.
You're like, psych. Better luck next time.
Leaving me a little bitter and confused. But whatever. If I really want ice cream, I'll just break the lockdown and go to the store. Not like anyone follows the mandates anyways. Those were the thoughts running through my tired brain as I got back inside and wasted the rest of my evening on Amazon and Netflix. Somewhere during the evening, I fell asleep right on my couch. I lost track of time. When I woke up, though, I heard that same jingle again. It was so loud I was sure it was going to wake up the whole neighborhood. Then I looked outside and realized it was pitch black. Checking my watch, I realized it was
Dude got a Rolex. Oh my god, he flexing.
after midnight. What the hell was the ice cream truck doing here so late? It went to that same street corner and turned off the engine, sitting there ominously in the shadows, as the stars above highlighted its contorted features. Then, the music started playing again.
Hi everyone,
In
I do
ad.
ASMR whispers with positive affirmations and
Dang,
soft
2
sounds.
ads.
In my stream you can expect
Hi!
This time it didn't sound so cheerful. It was dreary, frightful, but also hypnotic sounding, psychedelic. It puzzled me as to what was happening for a moment. And then across the neighborhood I saw lights began to come on. All of their customers were suddenly waking up. Slow.
Everyone got the cops. There's an ice cream man in an ice cream truck, like.
Kids climbed out of windows, pushed through doors. Some were even in pajamas.
What kind of PSG drug high are they on? Got me cracking my neck.
As I watched, it looked like they were sleepwalking, moving slowly in one single group to the truck. Were they being mind controlled? Saying it now, that sounds insane, I know. But this is exactly what it looked like as the group of young children circled the truck. And the music got louder and louder. And then,
boom!
at last, it all got silent. The crowd stood there.
It's silent in my room. Weird.
Mesmerized by the flashing lights that now appeared around the truck. It looked like they were flickering at such a speed to cause a seizure of some kind. All the children began to do just that, collapsing on the ground and shaking violently.
Bro. What is that stuff in their mouth, bro? At the beginning it said... Wait, what did it say, the title? Something scream, something cream.
Instinctively, I ran out of my front door to check. I didn't even put any shoes on. My main concern was these kids. They kept shaking and foaming at the mouth as I got closer. I saw the vendor standing at his truck window, smiling, almost
He like, I'm gonna impregnate them. Oh, they tasting my cream.
maniacally at all of them. Hey, you sick! Leave them alone! I shouted to him. That got his attention. His drooping eyes glared at me as he turned off the music. Can I help you, sir? He asked in a pleasant voice. But I wasn't about to be fooled by his schemes now. I'm calling the police on you, bud. You're gonna regret ever hurting these kids, I told him. Hurt them? I would dream of it, he said with a snicker. Then he pressed another lever in his truck, and a new melody played. This one sounded like it was being done in reverse, with warped notes and confusing strings amid the orchestra. The children all stood up, rigid like statues, and it was then I saw their eyes, dazed, addicted.
Bro, they addicted, they high, bro. They high off that ice cream, they addicted.
Listening to the thrall of this insane ice cream. You drugged them! I realized. Children, take the nice man back to his house, the vendor told his brainwashed slaves. They swarmed me like ants. I didn't even have a chance to move. Plus, I was worried if I did try to fight back, I might hurt one of the children. They grabbed and bit at my arms and legs.
Bro, I would karate kick them out of existence, bro. They wouldn't even have a chance to freaking bite me, bro. Like, why you looking worried? Like, why don't you hit them, bro? Like, do you see they're like zombies? Like, come on, bro.
As they shoved me towards my house. All the while, other children dispersed in the neighborhood to do whatever evil their master was asking of them. It didn't take long for the children to reach my house, lock me in my closet, and then begin to rifle through all of my belongings. I was trapped there for at least 6 hours, listening as the kids...
6 hours? I couldn't even probably spend like a minute. I was like, help, get me the baby. Help.
Mashed up my house. The strange music kept playing louder and louder. And then at last, fire engine sirens were in the background. That seemed to be the cue to leave. The ice cream truck jingle came to an end. The noise was replaced by the roar of a fire. My house was about to become an inferno. I shouted and banged on the door, hoping against all odds I would be found. It took them another 5 minutes to save me. But once I was out of my smoke-filled house, I saw that they had their hands full. The entire neighborhood was suffering from the hypnotized arsons. Everything that I had was stolen! One person screamed. Others shared similar stories. I too was struggling to breathe as I realized my valuables were likely taken too. The ice cream man had come into our lives, wiped us clean. It was disorienting and frightening to think of. And honestly, it made me never trust a vendor again. Even when the fireman offered me a cool popsicle, I felt a sick churn in my stomach. The heat isn't so bad, I told them, as I waved it away. I don't think I'll be asking for ice cream anytime soon.
Traumatized, bro. Anyway. Damn. That was sick, bro. That was just sick. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed.